Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be triangulated. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. So, the narcissist has many tricks and tactics, many ways to manipulate individuals. And my least favorite, many of you know by now, is triangulation. I will explain to you what it is. I'll explain to you some examples of how this happens, why it happens, the signs to look out for, and to please be on the lookout and don't let this happen to you. First of all, what is triangulation? It is when an individual is trying to lure in another individual to drive a wedge between you and said individual. In other words, let's say that you are in a romantic relationship. Well, it's you and your partner will try to insert another individual and mention things about them and say that they'll try and drive a wedge to get you to get that third party in between you and themselves. In other words, what they're trying to do is completely manipulate you. Notice the word triangulation. You, your partner, and now an alleged individual who, by the way, may or may not exist. I will mention that also. Triangulation is a very toxic behavior. It is when, many times when you are with your spouse, let's say as an example, or can be a coworker, whomever, which I'll jump into these examples. But let's say you're with your spouse or your romantic interest and you think things are going well, everything's going okay. Well, you didn't know, first of all, you're with a narcissist, so that's number one. But number two is many times these individuals will say that another person gave them compliments or says that they look so beautiful or is paying more attention to them or does things that, for example, you don't do, even though you do them and you go above and beyond the call of duty. I hope you understand that. So what this is meant to do is it's meant to drive a wedge and have you doubting yourself and have you working harder for your spouse or your partner who is the narcissist. Now, the narcissist knows this. They know what they're doing. So keep in mind, the narcissist needs new shiny objects. They need new play toys. They need new people. They need new relationships. And one way to do that is to triangulate an individual. So again, let's say that you were with your partner, your spouse, or whoever it is, and everything's going well. And then all of a sudden you start hearing a third party's name, like whatever the name is. And you're saying to yourself, who is this person? I've never even heard of them. Who are they? And why are you spending so much time with them or talking with them? Well, first of all, that could be the new supply, but that's not for this video. This illustration, triangulation, is that person, let's say they do exist, well, that person is going to now be on the forefront, the radar of the narcissist. And what the narcissist is going to want to do is they're going to want to see how you react when the narcissist, tell you that they are being paid a lot more attention to by this said third party. I hope you get it. Now, when that happens, you instinctively are scratching your head saying, what's going on here? We've been together for X number of years, and like, why all of a sudden am I hearing this person's name? So that's red flag number one. Red flag number two is most likely, if you've experienced this, by the way, drop comments below, you are experiencing triangulation, which means you are most likely with a narcissist or a person who knows how to manipulate very well. And what this person will do is they will compare you and what you're offering and what you're doing, and they will pit you up with this third party, and they will see who is doing more for them. Think about it. So an example, again, with the triangulation would be that the narcissist is saying, yes, for Christmas you got me ABC. Well, but this person got me XYZ. And you're like, that's great, but first of all, why are they buying you expensive gifts? Second of all, I got you what I could afford. And third of all, why are you comparing? Gift giving is supposed to be coming from the heart. It's not a competition. But notice what I said right there, competition. That's exactly what the narcissist wants. They want you competing for them. And this is the core of triangulation. Think about what I'm sharing with you. The narcissist, remember, they are always in competition with you. But what do they like more than competing with you? They like people competing over themselves. And when the narcissist triangulates somebody, what they're doing is essentially saying, hey, I am the prize. I am worth everything. You, whether you're married or not, you need to start working harder and offering more to me, because if you don't, this person over here, they will do it. I hope you get that. That is triangulation. So now what happens there is the person that is being triangulated, in this case is you for the video, you are now doing more for the narcissist. And the narcissist is watching you. They're watching your fuel tank. Is it becoming depleted, or is it getting more and more full because now you're buying into the triangulation technique? That is exactly what happens. Now, going back to the person that you're being triangulated with, if they do exist, that anything that the narcissist says, by the way, needs to be taken with a grain of salt. It actually needs to be taken with a mountain of salt, because first of all, that person may exist. Second of all, that person may have never had any interest in the narcissist that you're thinking about, or even talked to them. So in other words, the narcissist may have made that whole thing up, only just drop the name of that unsuspecting individual. The third thing, and this is another deeper part, is let's say that this random name pops up out of the blue and you're being triangulated with that person. There is a chance that person doesn't even exist. That person could be somebody from the past. Think about it. So here's an example. You're again in a romantic relationship with somebody who turned out to be a narcissist. And once things get dull and boring for the narcissist, maybe they start to triangulate you. Maybe they did it in the beginning, who knows? My hope is you're getting the wisdom with this video. But the point is, many times they will say to you, oh yeah, you did this for me, you do this, this, and this, but my former spouse or my former romantic interest, they did all these other things. Now, you really need to question yourself. Did you ever meet that person? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. If you didn't meet them, then you need to understand that they may not have ever existed. So this is another rabbit hole of the narcissistic abusive cycle, triangulation. What's happening here when the person doesn't exist, what it means is the narcissist just plucked a random name out of thin air and they pitted you against somebody who never existed. Why did they do that? Exactly to keep you in the loop, to keep you trapped in the narcissistic fog, to have you offering more and more of whatever it was you were giving to them, to do more, to go above and beyond the call of duty, even though your resources most likely were being depleted. That's what they wanted. So think about this. That is why so many times you will hear a name pop up out of the blue and you're like, who's that? I haven't heard that name in 10 years. Or who's that? I've never heard that name. Or what's going on here? That's because they're testing you. They're giving you a litmus test to see if you're paying attention, if you're gonna bite, if you're gonna ask questions, if you're not, if you're gonna let it slide, which is a whole different thing. This is what the narcissist does. And remember, competition is one of the key things in a narcissistic relationship. You are in competition with people that do or do not exist, whether you know it or not. And the narcissist loves having people fawning all over them as if they are the grand prize. Now, another thing here is, think about this. Let's say the person does exist and you're being triangulated, or you were being triangulated. Let's say that you don't give it any energy or attention. You just say, whatever, no big deal, it's fine. I did what I can do. And in other words, you're drawing a line in the sand and you're just saying, hey, I can only do so much. Here's what I can do. There's a caveat there. If that's the approach you take, understand that if this person really does exist, that there is a possibility that the narcissist will give that person that they were triangulating you with more time. And time could mean your replacement. I hope you understand that. I'm not saying it happens all the time. I'm saying it happens. Because remember, the narcissist needs to keep you on eggshells. They need to keep you spinning around on that hamster wheel of wonderment, not knowing what's going on. And when they triangulate you, again, it's my least favorite thing these people do. If the person does exist, and if you think that if you're not giving that triangulation any energy or anything, you're saying, whatever, fine, do what you're gonna do. Watch out, because now the narcissist is gonna say, oh yeah, you're not gonna take the bait on this one? No problem. I really will spend more time with them. And maybe they actually really will become your replacement when I discard you. Understand this, there's so many different layers to the narcissistic relationship, but triangulation is really disgusting. And the behavior is so childish, and it's a nasty, nasty thing to go through. Now, if you really go back to the body of your relationship when you were with the narcissist, I'm certain you can pick out times when you were triangulated. It didn't have to be a romantic interest either. Same thing with work. Watch this one. You're at work and your boss is a narcissist, as an example, and you're doing a great job. And you get called into his office, the boss's office one day, and the boss is saying to you, hey, you're doing a pretty good job there, even though you know you're doing a great job, and he or she does too, but they're not going to tell you that. So they're going to downplay your performance most times, and then they're going to say, hey, so-and-so from the other department, they're kind of like you, but they're doing a lot more, and they have very similar qualities to you, and I'm just wondering why you can't perform at their high level. And you're like, what are you talking about? I just took over 2 different people's positions after you let them go, and now I have the work of 3 different people, but I'm still being paid the same amount of money as I was when I started joining this company. Well, think about it. What the narcissistic boss is doing is they're pitting you up against another individual in a different department, saying that, hey, they can work so much harder, why can't you? And maybe they push this envelope a little bit more. And they say, yeah, this person's working on weekends. They're skipping their birthday. They're not even taking care of their kids. They're working so much, but they're doing a great job. You should toe the company line and do the same thing. And you're like, what do I do? I need my job. I'm not sure what to do. That's a tough decision to make, but it happens all the time. Think about it. The reason why is because the narcissist on many levels there, one, they're pushing to see how far you will take it. In other words, if you will take the bait. Number two, they're trying to get the most work out of you. Number three, by the way, when you do the most work, they're going to take the credit for you. Don't think you're getting the credit, because most likely you won't. Number three, their narcissism is allowing them to secretly manipulate you and get supply from watching you squirm, or watching you work more, or watching you work on holidays or miss your birthday, things like that. That's what the narcissist wants. So it's not just one size fits all. Remember this, that in the narcissistic relationship, each and every one of us that have gone through these, there are so many similarities, yet each one is unique. And triangulation is no different. You could be triangulated with your own family members. Let's put it that way. Let's say you're from a family, and say one of your siblings or mom or dad is a narcissist. Okay, great. Well, what happens there many times is they will say that one of your siblings said A, B, and C, when in fact they said nothing like that, but you take the bait, and that next thing you know, you're talking to them, and you two are now in a battle because the narcissist has now pitted the two of you together, because the narcissist said that your sibling said something when in fact they said nothing like that, but you two are now at odds. This is how the narcissist wants things. Remember, the narcissist doesn't want peace and love and harmony. They want confusion, chaos, manipulation, and triangulation for this video. That's what they want. That's how they thrive. They love stirring the pot, sitting back on the sidelines, watching people be pitted against each other. And for the triangulation video, or triangulated, this is one of they relish in this the most. Because think about this one. At the end of the relationship, if you were discarded, let's say you were, and if you were, my heart goes out to you. But if you were, what happened there? That was the narcissist literally crumbling you up like a sheet of paper, throwing you away in the freeway, going on to the new supply. And then why the new supply is lined up and in place? Because 9 times out of 10, the new supply has been triangulated with you. In other words, the narcissist, when they were in the relationship with you before you were discarded, they were grooming the new supply, triangulating them, saying how much you did, how much you offered, how you made them a better person. You made them what you offered for them. And they tested the new supply, saying, hey, you know, my current partner does all these things for me. What can you offer? In other words, they're trying to trade up. And so what happens is the new supply doesn't have the wisdom on my channel, or get it from my channel yet. They will, trust me. And what they do is they take the bait. They take a bite of the rotten fruit. And they say to themselves, oh my gosh, the person that this person's with, which was you, they're doing so much. I need to step up my game. I need to do more. What should I do? Okay, yeah, I can do that. I'll do that and more. I'll take care of you. I know you're being abused. I know you're a victim and all these things, because remember the smear campaign, that's what the narcissist says. And so the new supply falls into the trap just like you did. Boom, triangulation 101. And that's how the narcissist goes from person to person, business to business, relationship to relationship. Just jumping from one unsuspecting individual to the next, to the next, to the next. And they really want to triangulate people as much as they possibly can, because what does triangulation do for you? Nothing. It isolates you, it separates you, it keeps you thinking that you should have done more, you could have done more. It has you thinking about a person who doesn't or doesn't exist. It has you understanding that perhaps you're not doing as much for the relationship, when in fact you're going above and beyond the call of duty. And the whole time the narcissist has front row tickets to watch the triangulation unfold, because they're the ones who have administered this. Think about it. So guys, before I close the video, remember, if you were triangulated, drop comments below. Understand this is not a healthy situation to be a part of, having people pit each other up against each other. It's not good, but that's what the narcissist does. That's why you need to block them, go no contact, delete them, and remove all flying monkeys and people associated with the narcissist. That's the path. It's what you should do if you can't utilize gray rock. But don't take the bait. Don't listen to it. And if your spidey senses are tingling, pay attention to your instincts and your intuition, and pay attention to red flags. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Don't be triangulated. Continue to become the best version of yourself possible. Become awakened, aware, empowered, and educated. Remember, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. I love you. You are not alone. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys.